Hi everyone, my name is Allison Grosz. I'm an attorney and a partner with Hemrick PLLC here in New York City. Today I want to talk about a fairly serious topic, and that's the topic of Interpol red notices. Now, Interpol red notices don't affect a lot of people, but it affects enough people that I think it's important for them to recognize that if you're an intending immigrant here in the United States, specifically a lot of times would be a prospective asylum applicant or a current asylum applicant here in the United States who's been issued an Interpol red notice or thinks they've been issued an Interpol red notice in their name, then this topic affects you. Now, an Interpol red notice is, of course, commonly referred to as an international arrest warrant. However, Interpol insists that that's not what it is, even though effectively that is how it works. Now, the U.S. doesn't have extradition treaties with a lot of different countries who are commonly known to abuse Interpol red notices. However, it's important for people to understand that Interpol independently does not investigate any claims from countries that issue red notices for individuals. All they do is put out the red notice and allow local authorities around the world from member states to know that there is a red notice in somebody's particular name. It's important to keep in mind that because of Interpol's lack of their own investigation, a lot of times Interpol is utilized by repressive countries and governments in order to perpetuate or long-arm persecute political opponents or people who have fled those countries for political purposes. The common term that this is referred to as is called transnational repression. That is the official term used for essentially long-arm persecution through the abuse of Interpol red notices. It's very important for intending immigrants in the United States to understand that the U.S. does have certain safeguards in effect for people who have been issued Interpol red notices who also believe that those red notices were issued in order to commit transnational repression of them. However, these safeguards aren't foolproof, and of course, people are detained unfairly, effectively utilizes U.S. government agencies in committing the very acts that people are fleeing from in order to seek protection here in the United States. Now, as I said, the U.S. government has implemented some safeguards in attempting to protect individuals from the abuse of these Interpol red notices through transnational repression. However, in recent years, the U.S. Congress has proposed a certain act called the TRAP Act, which stands for the Transnational Repression, Accountability, and Prevention Act. The U.S. government has proposed this act to safeguard victims of transnational repression who are here in the United States. It is a bipartisan act that's been proposed through Congress and in recent weeks has actually made headway into it being furthered along into actually being codified into the U.S. statutory system. And what this act would do is provide codified protections for people who believe that they are being transnationally repressed or long-arm persecuted through the abuse of Interpol red notices by their home countries or by a specific country to try to force their extradition or force their arrest, resulting in an order of deportation that would bring them back to the very persecution that they fled to begin with. If you think that you are being transnationally repressed, or if you have an Interpol red notice in your name, and this is something that you want to discuss, then we here at Hemrick PLLC are happy to discuss this concept with you. Any other further concepts about Interpol warrants, notices, or if you think that you yourself are being persecuted through any other method or mean. We're happy to hear from you. You can find us online at hemrick.law, or you can reach us by phone at 833-848-7838. Until next time, I look forward to talking to everyone soon. And again, this is a very serious matter, but it is something that we are happy to discuss with anybody who thinks that they're being affected by it. Thank you very much.